to get us underway. And the ACC volleyball season for both Louisville and Syracuse has begun. For Louisville, here's Charity Looper to score the first points of the match. That finishing touch there, though. That one off the tape. There's DeBeer out of the back row, and DeBeer gets the job done. Antonio. But Louisville knows that Anna DeBeer is in their back pocket every single night. A player that can always turn up and get you between 15 and 20 kills with regularity. There's Glock, Melina Brooking for the Cuse. DeBeer, that's pinpoint from Anna.
You see Glock here backpedaling to this ball and able to find Anna DeBeer out of the back row in a very...
I think, well, it is to me.
That's it. We're going to call her Aiko the OG.
I love it. Aiko the OG. And there is the OG. Season wide for both of these teams, exemplified in this first set. There's Hannah Sherman.
The ball got to the setter fast, and Sherman got to the setter even faster.
Last year, played 4 sets against Wright State early on in this season, then played 1 set against Northern Kentucky. In the next set of games, hasn't seen action in a few weeks. A pair of German youth internationals on this team with Liedermuller as well. There's PK for Louisville. Jobert with the swing for Syracuse, and then Aiko Jones powerfully. Petrenko serving the Coastal Carolina transfer. He's played in a reserve setter role so far this year. Point for Syracuse.
High ball, but it's fast, and she's great at decision making. If the block's there, she'll find that seam.
McCabe finished 3rd in solo blocks for Seattle before transferring over. There's Anna DeBeer, denied the first time. And favorite always gets a big cheer and a big hand when she comes into the game. Does here. Syracuse trying to get it over. Sherman and Robbins, 2 towering players up front for Louisville. This time, score off the block.
Based on the great cover, knew where this ball was going, and Sherman finishes with that inside hand, so the ball goes straight down.
Rush and PK heading to the bench. Here's Brooking serving for Syracuse. Louisville sets it up for the freshman, Robbins.
The decision-making proved just within this set.
Louisville 3 points away as Looper with her left hand gets it over. An opportunity here for Syracuse. And they are able to take advantage. Antonio once again. Point for Syracuse on the ace, Aiden Bartlett.
This season, and Reese Robbins is playing back row.
A little experimentation tonight from Danny Busboom Kelly, Louisville's head coach. That's been clear so far. There's DeBeer with the offhand. How about that? Looper to serve. And a challenging one for Syracuse, but they're able to get it over with Antonio. The swing and then the dig from Scott. Out of the back row is Looper. And Antonio, the target once again offensively for Syracuse. Here's an opportunity for Louisville, though. Looper out of the back row, denied. Petrenko to DeBeer. And it's going to be a Louisville point to close out the first set.
He wasn't getting a lot of begging from his team, so I think he kind of backed off.
There's Antonio. She's had the hot hand for Syracuse. Looper. Dug out by Burt. Antonio once again. A dig from Scott. Gets a round of applause from these knowledgeable Louisville fans. The right side with McCabe, and she is denied. Anna Sherman once again for the Cardinals after Syracuse came out of the break with a couple of early points. Out of the timeout, they go to Antonio once again, and that is a much better swing than she's had. And there's the block. Robbins, back-to-back points for her.
Fast and avoiding the coverage from Syracuse.
An overpass. Here's Antonio. And Antonio off the block, able to score.
But when it's coming with so much speed, it's hard to absorb that power and keep it on your side of the net.
DeBeer 6 for 10. Louisville hitting .548 as a team. Syracuse, that was Veronica Searzant into the game, number 2.
And a couple shots down the line, but she's avoiding a huge block.
It's going to be difficult for her at 5'6" to hit through that block of Louisville, but she's able to do it off the block this time. Here's DeBeer for Louisville, and that is more like it for the Cardinals. They go to Paxton once again, this time with power and authority. You hear CC coming from the crowd as Rush comes into the game. There's a chance for Louisville after Syracuse was out of sorts defensively.
Great set here by Petrenko. You see the middle has to stay true to Sherman and just allows that little.
Anna Sherman. Third block of the night for Sherman. There's Antonio out of the back row and make it number 4. The back row swing from Antonio.
Sherman's been she knows what she's looking for in her 5th year on the court, and she's able to execute.
There's Sherman on the slide. McCabe. Now, I beg your pardon, Bankston. Got my freshman confused. Alana Bankston.
Goes outside. She's so fluid in her motions on her swing.
She's up for the block there, and it's off of the block, I believe, of Hannah Sherman.
In a row, and then the same thing back with Antonio. And I think in order to keep the block guessing, they need a little bit more variation in timing of their offense.
Be at the KFC Yum Center coming up later in the season. That's really developing into quite the rivalry at the top of the standings on an annual basis in the ACC. Louisville out of sorts here. Robbins has to hit the deck.
To battle in the national semifinals.
And if there's one to win, I mean, obviously with the stakes, you know, a chance to play in the national title game as Robbins scores. Coaching staff led by Danny Busboom Kelly. I'm sure, though, Pitt still will be thinking about that one when those two teams come together. There's Nina Mora. Off the tape with Louisville a point away. It was Searzant for Syracuse. PK denied. Looked like it was a double contact, but it was uncalled. So it remains a 4-0 run to Louisville to start the 3rd as Petrenko takes aim from behind the service line. Here she sets up Reese Robbins. Syracuse, a good swing there from Harris Waddy. And a good dig by Anna DeBeer defensively for Louisville. Schlichter, and there's a dig from Alana Bankston. Here's DeBeer out of the back row, and that is over the heads of the bench players for Syracuse, and Louisville has a 5-0 run. Steps back. There's McCabe. Kind of didn't hit it the way I think she wanted to hit it. Here's Anna DeBeer. Schlichter. Pass from Petrenko wasn't quite on target to Robbins. Might get another chance. She does. And she takes advantage. That time.
Petrenko making the decision to exploit the matchup between Robbins and Schlichter instead of just taking the easy ball and setting outside to DeBeer.
And DeBeer's eyes got huge just a moment ago, but Louisville able to score ultimately. 5 aces on the season. Make it 6 after she had one earlier on the night. A little false start there from CC Rush. Got a laugh out of the crowd. Here's Antonio. She's been quiet of late with 10 kills leading the way for Syracuse. Bankston denied. Moorer wins the joust. Antonio, terrific diving dig there from Fitfold. Bankston, a full swing. Back and forth volleyball, and ultimately Syracuse big celebrations as they get the point.
German national team players and are going to contribute to this Cuse team in the long run. They're just lacking some offensive weapons right now with their injuries.
He would say it's about little points of growth.
But I asked him in the pregame, too. I said, hey, do you have dreams of playing a game in the Carrier Dome and thinking about some of these attendance records that were set? And he said, yeah, in a few years when we're ready, I think a match like this at Syracuse in the Carrier Dome would be an absolute highlight. Right on the setter's head is what makes her great.
There's Petrenko going to the floor. And there's Bankston, another great swing, but well defended by Liedermuller. Sherman, though, finishes it for Louisville to give them 20 points in set 3.
On conference play that is deserved for conference play.
Louisville 4 points away from a 1-0 start in ACC play. And Bankston has been often used. A good dig on the end of it, though, from Syracuse. They go back to Bankston again. She's got some fire in that right arm. There's a dig for Scott. Bankston again. Sherman. And the block for Syracuse has made it into Rhea Harris-Waddy. There's Bankston now on the right side. Can Syracuse extend the game? Robbins to finish it off, and she does. Off the block, a point to Louisville, and it is 1-0 in the ACC for the Cardinals.